God says, He is trying to reach your heart right now. He is whispering to your soul, gently but urgently, hoping that you do not turn away, not this time. This might be the final time He calls you like this, softly, kindly, yet with deep concern that something ahead may break you if you don't listen. He's not shouting, but His voice trembles with love, and it's filled with longing for you to come back. If you have ever felt like you're drifting or that something unseen is warning you, take this moment seriously. God is not trying to frighten you, He is trying to save you. Not just from the darkness outside, but from the quiet storms within, the ones that no one sees but tear you apart. Type Amen if you believe. He sees what you hide behind your smile, the weight you carry that no one else seems to notice. He has watched you cry alone, and He has heard every silent prayer that never left your lips. This message, this moment, is not by accident. God has been trying to get your attention through the chaos, through the noise, through the quiet hours of the night when you feel most alone. He is here now, reaching out, because He doesn't want to lose you. You are precious to Him, not because of what you've done or failed to do, but because He made you, and He knows the beauty He placed inside your soul. Even when you feel unworthy, even when you feel too far gone, He still wants you. The world may have let you down, and people may have turned their backs on you, but God never has. You might think you've ignored Him too many times, or walked too far from His path, but He's still there, just as close as your next breath, waiting for you to notice Him again. He isn't angry. He's hurting because He misses you. His heart aches when you struggle without Him. He wants to carry you through it, not leave you to fight alone. There are times when life feels like it's closing in on you, when fear starts to choke out your peace, and you wonder if anything will ever feel safe again. In those moments, God is standing right beside you, His arms open, whispering your name, pleading with you not to face it without Him. He won't force Himself into your heart, but He will wait, and wait, and wait until the moment you say, I'm tired, God. I need you. And the second you do, He comes rushing in like a flood of warmth, peace, and healing. Type 1111 if you trust in God. You may not understand everything happening in your life right now. It may feel like everything is falling apart, but God often uses broken pieces to build something even more beautiful. He sees ahead. He knows what's coming. And sometimes, when He warns you, it's not because He's trying to control you, it's because He sees the danger that your eyes cannot yet see. Maybe you've been feeling uneasy lately, like something is off. That's not your imagination. That's Him, trying to gently pull you away from a path that will hurt you. He doesn't want to lose you to the things of this world that seem sweet but slowly poison your soul. He wants to protect you from choices that will wound you, from people who don't love you like He does, from the lies that try to convince you that you'll never be enough. He wants to guide you back, slowly and lovingly, to a life that feels safe, whole, and full of peace again. His hands are steady, His heart is kind, and His timing is never too late. But sometimes, there's a window, a small one, and He calls, hoping you'll answer before it closes. Maybe this is that window. Maybe this is that moment you look back on one day and say, that night, something changed. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't even need to feel strong. All you need is a soft heart willing to say, God, I hear you. I'm listening. The rest, He will take care of. He will help you, hold you, restore what you've lost, and gently lead you into something so much better than you could ever create on your own. There's no shame in needing God. There's no weakness in surrendering. In fact, the strongest moments of your life will be the ones where you let go and allowed God to take control. You are not alone, and you never were. Even in the quietest nights, when all you heard was your own heartbeat echoing in the dark, God was near, closer than you knew, watching over you, weeping with you, loving you through it all. He is not done with you. There is more for your life. There are blessings that haven't yet arrived, healing that hasn't yet begun, and peace that is still waiting to flood your soul. But you have to open the door. You have to be willing to let Him in again. Not halfway, not just when things are hard, but truly let Him in, to stay, to guide, to comfort, to lead. You are loved more deeply than you will ever understand in this life. You matter more than your failures, more than your doubts, more than your mistakes. If you take one step toward God, He will take 1,000 steps toward you. That's the kind of love He has. It never runs out. It never gives up. And right now, He is calling you home, asking you to listen before it's too late. You may think you have more time, that there will be another chance later, another opportunity tomorrow, but God is telling you that today matters more than you realize. The clock is ticking quietly in the background, and He's urging you not to ignore the still, small voice that keeps calling out from the depth of your soul. Type 222 to say you're listening. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. Maybe you've been surrounded by people but still feel alone, or you've been going through life pretending everything is fine while breaking inside in ways you don't even know how to put into words. Maybe you've been asking silently, why does everything feel so heavy, or why do I feel so distant from peace? God knows. He's seen the tears on your pillow. He's heard the cries in the shower. He's felt every ounce of confusion and weariness inside you. He's not disappointed in your struggle. He's not frustrated with your doubts. He's simply begging you not to stay in the darkness any longer when He's offering light that never fades. There are moments in life that feel like crossroads, quiet, sacred moments when everything feels louder on the inside than it does around you. This might be one of those times. God has been knocking on the door of your heart gently, patiently, but today, He's knocking with urgency. Not to scare you, but because He loves you too much to stay silent any longer. He's not calling you to be perfect, and He's not asking for grand gestures. He's simply asking you to stop and listen, to truly listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart wide open. He knows the things you hide, the habits you're trying to break, the guilt you're carrying like a backpack full of stones. He doesn't want you to stay stuck there. He wants to lift it off you, carry it for you, heal what others have broken. Sometimes we carry wounds that aren't even ours to hold, scars from words spoken years ago, pain left by people who walked away. God sees it all, and he wants you to know that he has never once walked away from you, not for a second. You've been holding on so tightly, trying to be strong for everyone else, trying to smile through it all, trying to survive when all you really want is to feel safe again. God wants to be that safe place. He wants to be the one you turn to, not only in your crisis, but in your quiet too. You were never created to carry the world on your shoulders. That's his job. And when you give it to him, really give it to him, you'll feel peace that doesn't even make sense, but it will cover you like a warm blanket on a cold night. Type 555 if you choose to let God in. This might be the moment that saves you. This might be the night where everything begins to shift, not because everything around you suddenly changes, but because something inside of you softens, breaks open, and allows God to enter the parts of your heart that have been closed for too long. The truth is, he never stopped trying. Every time your heart started to wander, every time you made choices that didn't reflect your worth, every time you felt too lost to come back, he still stood at the gate, waiting, watching, loving. Sometimes, we wait for loud miracles and signs in the sky, but God often works in the quiet. In the pull you feel right now. In the tears starting to form without you knowing why. In the heaviness in your chest that lifts just a little when you let his name fill your thoughts. That's not coincidence. That's God trying one more time. Maybe the last time. Because the truth is, we never know how much time we really have. We assume tomorrow is promised, but heaven sees the full picture, and if God is reaching you now, it's because he knows you need this now. Your story is not over. You are not beyond saving. You are not too broken, too dirty, too distant to be brought back into the light. God specializes in the impossible. He has taken shattered hearts and made them whole again. He has taken the most unlikely people and used them for the most beautiful purposes. And if he did it for them, he will do it for you. All you need to do is say, "I'm ready, God. I need you." And just like that, everything will begin to change. You don't need to have perfect prayers. You don't need fancy words. Just honesty. Just surrender. That's all he wants, your truth, your heart, your willingness to stop fighting him. You might not know what tomorrow brings, but if you walk with God, you'll never face it alone. He will guide your every step. He will guard your every breath. He will make sure that even your pain is never wasted, but woven into something meaningful and full of purpose. There's a reason this message found you. It's not just a scroll or a post. It's a rescue. It's a divine moment of pause. A wake-up call sent with love. Don't ignore the tug in your spirit. Don't silence the stirring in your heart. Listen. Breathe. Let go. You've been strong for so long, but even the strongest hearts need a place to rest. That place is him. His arms are open, and his heart is full of love that you don't have to earn, prove, or beg for. It's already yours. Type yes to affirm. God is not trying to scare you with warnings, he's trying to save you from something you haven't seen yet. Sometimes the most loving thing he can do is pull you away from danger you're walking toward without even realizing it. That's what he's doing now, trying one more time to pull you close before something hits that you won't know how to handle on your own. He's not asking you to fix everything or figure everything out. He's simply asking you to turn your heart toward Him, to open your soul just enough for His light to begin seeping into the places where fear has lived for too long. A 7-second brain-wave ritual, once reserved for elite people and hidden in CIA files, is now public, and people call it the 30-second miracle. Scientists say it awakens a dormant brain center tied to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's deleted again from the internet. You've been through things that should have broken you. You've survived seasons that felt endless. But in the middle of it all, God never left your side, even if you didn't feel Him. He's not the one who abandoned you in the darkness. He's the one who stayed through every storm, every silent night, every tear. And now He's reaching for you again, not because you failed, but because He wants to help you rise. You don't have to carry this weight anymore. You don't have to keep pretending you're fine. He already knows what's hurting, and He wants to be the one who holds you together when everything else is falling apart. There is something powerful about surrender, not giving up, but giving it to God. When you stop trying to do everything on your own and simply say, "God, I need you," something inside begins to shift. Peace starts to take the place of panic. Strength begins to return to your spirit. Clarity finds its way through the confusion. This is what He's offering you. Not a life without struggle, but a life where you're never alone in it again. A life where even your battles serve a greater purpose, and your pain becomes part of a story that ends in healing. Type 1919 to receive miracles. Sometimes it takes the silence to finally hear Him. Sometimes it takes the breaking to finally let Him rebuild. And sometimes, it takes that one last gentle warning to finally wake you up to how much He's been fighting for you behind the scenes. The enemy has been trying to distract you, discourage you, and make you believe that you're forgotten. But you are not forgotten. You are not invisible to heaven. You are not a mistake. God has been watching over you, sending you signs, protecting you from things you didn't even know were trying to destroy you. But now, He's asking you to stop running. He's asking you to stop numbing your heart with distractions, with noise, with temporary escapes. He's asking you to be still and listen, because He has something to show you, something beautiful, something redemptive, something that will change your life from the inside out. He's not looking at your past with judgment. He's looking at your future with hope. And He's inviting you to step into something new, something holy, something covered in grace. You may feel like it's too late for you. You may think that you've gone too far, that you've made too many mistakes. But God doesn't count your failures the way the world does. He sees your heart, not your history. He sees your desire to be whole, not just the moments you've fallen apart. And He wants you to know that nothing is wasted in His hands. Not a single tear. Not a single scar. Not a single prayer whispered in the middle of the night when you felt like you had nothing left to give. You don't have to carry the shame anymore. You don't have to stay stuck in the guilt that keeps telling you you're not enough. Jesus already paid the price for your freedom. The chains that have held you for so long, they can be broken. Not by your strength, but by His. And all He's asking for is your yes. Your willingness to believe, even if it's just a little. Your openness to be loved, even if you don't feel like you deserve it. He will meet you there, in that small, fragile space, and He will make it sacred. There is nothing more healing than the presence of God. When you let Him in, truly in, you will feel something change. Not always loud or dramatic, but deep and real. A kind of peace that doesn't make sense. A kind of love that doesn't run out. A kind of strength that carries you when you no longer have the will to stand. That's what He's offering. Not religion. Not rules. Relationship. Connection. Restoration. Life. Real life. Not the kind that comes from this world, but the kind that only He can give. He knows you're tired. He knows your soul is weary. And He's not angry about it, He's compassionate. He wants to comfort you like a good father. He wants to speak life over your dry bones. He wants to breathe hope back into your chest. You are not a lost cause. You are not a burden. You are beloved. Chosen. Called. Seen. And if you say yes, truly yes, He will take what's broken and begin to rebuild something beautiful in its place. This message is not about guilt. It's not about pressure. It's about love. It's about the kind of love that doesn't give up, even when you try to walk away. It's about a God who keeps knocking, keeps calling, keeps loving, even when He's ignored. Because His heart is tied to yours. And He can't bear to watch you suffer alone. That's why He's trying one more time. Maybe the last time. To get your attention, to remind you that it's not too late, to offer you a way back before you go too far. His voice isn't loud, but it's real. It's the soft pull in your chest that you can't ignore, the warmth behind your eyes when you think you've gone too far to be forgiven. He's here, not to punish, but to redeem. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Maybe you've been walking around with a quiet heaviness, the kind that's hard to explain to anyone else. You've been trying to hold yourself together while feeling like you're falling apart in ways you can't even name. Life has handed you more than you asked for, more than you thought you could carry, and you've grown used to pretending you're fine when deep down, you're just exhausted. But God has never asked you to carry all of this alone. That was never His design for you. He made you to live in connection with Him, to lean on Him when your strength runs dry, to walk beside Him through every season, not just the ones that feel easy. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. There are things in your life that feel out of control right now. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe it's your own mind. Maybe it's the weight of the past creeping in when you're trying so hard to look forward. God sees every piece. He knows what's been done, what's been said, what's been lost. And He's not confused about how to help you. He's not overwhelmed by your pain. He's not walking away because you're complicated. He's staying, right here, close to your brokenness, because that's where His healing begins. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He doesn't need you to have everything figured out. He just needs you to let Him in, to stop shutting the door when he knocks, to stop running from the very love your soul has been craving. He has something better for you than what you've been settling for. He has joy that doesn't come from circumstances. He has peace that won't collapse when the world shakes. He has hope that rises from ashes and makes all things new. But he won't force it on you. He's waiting for you to choose him back. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. You may not realize it, but you are standing at the edge of something important. Not a moment of pressure, but a moment of grace. A turning point. A gentle invitation to come back before the path grows too dark to find your way. God never leads with fear. He leads with love. But sometimes, his love includes a warning, a cry from heaven that says, "Please, don't ignore me this time." Not because he wants to scare you, but because he knows the pain ahead if you keep trying to do this without him. This is not just about right or wrong. It's about life and death. Not the kind you see with your eyes, but the kind that touches your spirit, your peace, your future. God doesn't just want to forgive you, he wants to transform you. He wants to take everything that has tried to destroy you and turn it into something beautiful. But he can't do it if you keep hardening your heart, if you keep choosing the temporary comfort that ends in emptiness. He wants more for you than that. He wants to show you what real love feels like. Love that doesn't leave. Love that doesn't use you. Love that heals. You've been searching in places that promised happiness but left you more broken than before. In people who couldn't hold your soul the way God can. In distractions that only numbed the pain for a while. But none of it has filled the void, has it? Because that space inside of you was never meant for the world. It was meant for him. That ache you've been carrying, that low hum of emptiness, it's not your fault. It's just your heart calling out for what it was made for, the presence of God. And he's closer than you think. Closer than your next breath. He's not watching from a distance, waiting for you to mess up again. He's sitting beside you, even now, whispering hope into the quiet corners of your thoughts. He's reminding you that it's not too late. That even if you've ignored every previous sign, he's still giving you one more chance, not out of obligation, but out of pure, burning love. He remembers every moment you almost gave up. Every time you stayed strong for others while you felt like collapsing inside. He remembers the promises you made in the dark when no one else could hear. And he wants you to know that nothing has gone unnoticed. Not one moment of pain, not one cry for help, not one silent scream buried behind your smile. He has collected it all in his heart. And now, he wants to bring healing, not temporary, but eternal. You don't have to fear the future. Not when your hand is in his. He won't promise that life will always be easy, but he promises that it will be meaningful, that you'll never face another battle alone, that everything meant to harm you will be turned into something that lifts you higher. That's who he is. A God who rebuilds, who restores, who runs toward you with open arms even after you've pushed him away. He is not done with you. He is not giving up. This might feel like the end of your rope, but to him, it's the beginning of a new chapter. You don't have to have all the words. You just have to whisper his name. Even through your tears. Even through your doubt. even through the mess. Just say, "Jesus, I need you," and He will be right there, already holding you, already working, already loving you through it. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are deeply, wildly, eternally loved. And no matter how many times you've wandered, no matter how far you think you've gone, He's still calling you home. Don't wait until everything falls apart. This is His hand extended to you, one more time, pleading softly, not with anger, but with mercy. He knows the road you're on, and He's not condemning you for it. He's just asking you not to keep walking down it without Him, because there are turns ahead that will be too much for you to face alone. Type 2323 if you agree. There is something sacred in knowing that God hasn't given up on you, even if you've lost hope in yourself. You might have made decisions you regret, walked paths that led you into places you never meant to go, or stayed stuck in situations that drained the life out of your soul. But even then, even there, God never walked away. His presence didn't leave you when you were at your worst. His love didn't change because of your mistakes. He's been carrying you when you didn't even know He was near. And now, He's asking for your heart again, not just part of it, but all of it, because only then can He begin to restore what has been broken. Using a simple 7-second brain wave ritual, once classified and hidden in CIA files, can unlock wealth, freedom, and success already inside you. This discovery is helping thousands step into abundance, and God has led you here for a reason. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency today. He knows what's been done behind closed doors. He's seen the moments when no one was watching. He's heard the thoughts you've buried and the shame that won't let you sleep. But His love isn't scared of your darkness. In fact, it was made to shine brightest right there. He's not repelled by your flaws. He's drawn to your honesty. When you say, "God, I don't know how to fix this," that's when His grace pours in like rain on dry ground. You may feel far away from Him, but He's closer than ever. The space you feel is not distance, it's the ache of your heart calling for something more, something eternal. The world can't fill that. People can't heal that. Distractions only make it worse. But God can step into that ache, into that emptiness, and speak life into it. All He needs is your yes, your surrender, your willingness to stop running. He's not just a part of your life, He's the source of it. He doesn't want a corner of your heart, He wants the whole thing. Not to control you, but to free you. Because the places we keep from Him are usually the ones where we're still hurting. And He wants to heal those places. To pour love into the cracks. To turn your mourning into joy, your weakness into strength, your fear into faith. But it starts with a choice. Type 2020 to claim miracles. There's a danger in waiting too long. Not because God's love runs out, it never does, but because our hearts can grow so numb that we stop hearing Him. He's calling now, not with thunder, but with quiet urgency. Not because He wants to pressure you, but because He knows how fragile life can be. Tomorrow is never promised. And sometimes, the chance to say yes slips away not because God stopped reaching, but because we stopped responding. This might be His last attempt to get your attention before something comes that will shake everything around you. He's not trying to scare you, he's trying to prepare you. He's trying to wrap you in protection before the storm hits. He sees what's ahead, and his warnings come wrapped in love, not fear. He's not angry. He's desperate for you to be safe, to be covered, to be held when the winds rise. Don't wait until it all falls apart to fall into his arms. Fall now. Trust now. Let go now. You've been carrying so much on your own. Trying to keep it together. Smiling for others while silently drowning. And you've gotten used to it, haven't you? Used to feeling like you're barely hanging on. But that's not living. That's surviving. And God didn't create you just to survive, He created you to live, fully and freely, in His presence. To breathe again without the weight on your chest. To wake up without dread sitting in your stomach. To finally feel joy that doesn't fade when the moment passes. He can give that to you. But you have to let Him. You have to stop pretending that you're okay when your soul is screaming for help. You have to stop pushing Him away because of guilt or shame or fear. He already knows everything. And He still wants you. That's the kind of love He has. One that stays. One that reaches into your mess and calls you precious. One that never turns away, no matter how far you've fallen. Maybe you're thinking you've tried before. That you've opened your heart only to fall again. God understands that. But He also wants you to know that this time can be different, not because you're stronger, but because this time, you're not doing it alone. When you let Him in completely, not just when things get hard, but even in the ordinary moments, that's when transformation begins. That's when peace replaces anxiety. That's when healing flows where you thought only pain could live. He's not asking you to understand everything. He's asking you to trust Him. Even when it doesn't make sense. Even when it hurts. Even when the path ahead is unclear. Because He sees what you can't. He knows the beauty waiting on the other side of your surrender. And He's already gone before you, preparing every step, every provision, every breakthrough. He's not just calling you away from something, He's calling you into something. Into a life filled with purpose, covered in grace, led by love. Into a place where your identity isn't tied to your past, but rooted in who He says you are. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are loved. Right here. Right now. Exactly as you are. He knows how close you have come to giving up, how often you have told yourself to just endure one more day, one more night, one more disappointment. He also knows that deep inside, you are longing for relief, for clarity, for a sense of safety that the world has failed to give you. That longing is not weakness. It is your soul remembering where it came from. Type yes to affirm. You have been carrying memories that still hurt, words that still echo, and moments that still sting when you least expect them. Sometimes they return without warning, stealing your peace and shaking your confidence. God sees how hard you try to move forward while parts of you remain stuck in yesterday. He is not upset with you for that. Healing is not instant, and faith is not a straight line. He understands the human heart because he created it, and he knows how fragile it can become after repeated wounds. That is why he is asking you to come closer, not to explain yourself, but to rest. There are things you have normalized that were never meant to be normal. Constant anxiety. Deep loneliness. Feeling empty even when surrounded by people. God did not design your life to feel like a constant battle for survival. He designed it to be anchored in His presence, strengthened by His peace, and guided by His wisdom. When you drift away from Him, life begins to feel heavier, not because He is punishing you, but because you are carrying burdens you were never meant to hold alone. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. He knows you have tried to fix things on your own. You have tried to be strong, independent, unbothered. You have told yourself that you do not need help, that you can handle it, that time will heal everything. But God sees the cracks forming beneath the surface. He sees how exhaustion has settled into your bones and how hope feels more distant than it used to. That is why He is reaching for you again, not with judgment, but with urgency rooted in love. Sometimes God allows discomfort not to hurt you, but to wake you up. The restlessness you feel is not random. The dissatisfaction you cannot shake is not meaningless. It is His way of reminding you that you were made for more than this constant state of inner turmoil. You were made to walk with Him, to lean on Him, to trust Him even when the road ahead feels uncertain. He is not calling you away from joy. He is calling you toward it. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. You may feel afraid of letting God back into certain parts of your life because you are worried about what He might ask you to change. But God is not here to take away what you love. He is here to remove what is slowly destroying you. Some attachments feel comforting even though they are hurting you. Some habits feel familiar even though they are draining your spirit. God sees the end of those paths, and His heart aches because He knows the pain they will bring if you keep holding on. His warnings are acts of protection, not control. He is gentle with you. He knows that transformation takes time. He knows that fear can make you hesitate. That is why He does not rush you, but He does call you. Again and again. Each call softer, deeper, more personal. He speaks through moments like this, through the quiet pull in your chest, through the sense that something here feels true even if you cannot fully explain why. That is His Spirit touching yours, reminding you that you are not alone and you never have been. There is a version of you that God sees clearly. A healed version. A peaceful version. A version that is no longer ruled by fear or guilt or shame. That version is not a fantasy. It is a promise. But it cannot be reached without trust. You do not have to be fearless. You just have to be willing. Willing to open your heart. Willing to let God guide you even when you do not see the full picture. Willing to believe that His plans for you are rooted in love, not loss. God knows that part of you is scared that if you fully surrender, you will lose control. But what you call control has been costing you peace. It has been costing you rest. It has been costing you joy. God is not asking you to give up your life. He is asking you to finally receive it. A life where you are not constantly bracing for the next blow. A life where you can breathe again without feeling guilty for resting. A life where you are supported, guided, and deeply loved. He remembers the prayers you stopped praying because you thought they no longer mattered. He remembers the dreams you buried because disappointment hurt too much. He remembers the moments you cried quietly so no one would hear. None of it was wasted. None of it was ignored. God has been collecting every tear, every hope, every broken piece, and He is ready to begin the work of restoration if you let Him. This is not about fear of consequences. This is about love offering protection before pain arrives. God is warning you because He cares. He is calling you because He wants to cover you. He is asking you to listen because He knows how fragile life can be when walked alone. There are storms you will never have to face if you stay close to Him. There are wounds you will never have to endure if you allow Him to lead you away from harm. You do not need to change overnight. You do not need to have perfect faith. You only need to take one honest step toward Him. One moment of surrender. One quiet decision to say, God, I trust you more than I trust my fear. That single step opens the door for Him to work in ways you cannot imagine yet but will one day be grateful for. He is not distant. He is not silent. He is right here, speaking through this moment, wrapping His love around your weary heart. Let this be the time you stop ignoring the gentle warnings and start embracing the deeper love behind them. But what you're feeling isn't just tiredness, it's a spiritual tug. It's a gentle but urgent nudge from the One who created you, trying to get your attention before the silence becomes permanent, before the noise of the world drowns out His call completely. He's asking you to pause, just for a moment, and listen with your heart. Type Amen if you believe. He knows how much you've been pretending. He sees how hard you try to look fine on the outside, when inside, you feel like you're unraveling thread by thread. You've become so good at wearing masks that sometimes, even you forget you're wearing one. But God sees through it. He sees the late nights when your thoughts won't stop racing. He sees the days when smiling feels like a task. He knows about the fears you don't talk about, the questions you don't dare ask, and the wounds you try to hide. And still, He loves you, not less, but more. Because He sees you truthfully, completely, and without condition. You were never meant to go through life disconnected from your Creator. That's why everything feels heavier than it should. That's why joy is so fleeting. That's why peace feels more like an idea than a reality. Because the soul can only rest when it's rooted in the One who made it. You can try to fill the space with people, achievements, routines, or even distractions, but nothing lasts. It all fades, it all changes, and it all eventually leaves you longing for something deeper. That something is God. That something is Jesus. A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now and step into abundance today. He's not asking for perfection. He's not waiting for you to clean yourself up before you come to him. He just wants your heart, your honesty, your willingness to let go of the things that are breaking you. He wants to replace your confusion with clarity, your anxiety with peace, and your fear with the quiet strength of knowing you're not alone. This is not about rules. It's not about rituals. It's about relationship. Real, steady, unconditional relationship with a Savior who died to give you life, not just existence, but life in fullness and grace. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There's a reason you're reading this right now. This moment isn't random. It's been appointed. Heaven has been pursuing your heart for a long time, but life has been loud, and pain has been persistent. God hasn't stopped calling, but your heart's been overwhelmed. That's why this message found you, not to scold you, but to rescue you. Not to guilt you, but to guide you home. He's been sending quiet signs. A stirring in your chest during a song. Tears that come without explanation. A memory that surfaces out of nowhere. He speaks through moments, and he's been speaking to you more than you realize. He's not angry. He's not frustrated. But he is urgent. Because he sees things you don't see yet. He knows what's around the corner. He knows what's being formed in the shadows, what's waiting ahead that could hurt you if you keep going without him. That's why he's asking you to slow down and listen. Not tomorrow. Not when life is more convenient. Right now. Because your heart is still soft. Because your soul is still reaching. Because you still have time. But time is not endless. God does not threaten. He pleads. His voice may sound gentle, but his concern is real. He is not warning you to scare you. He is warning you because he wants to save you from the heartache that comes from living without him. You don't have to understand everything to trust him. You don't have to see the full picture to say yes. All you need to do is stop resisting the pull. Stop explaining it away. Stop pretending that it's nothing. It's not nothing. It's the voice of God calling you home. You may not have had a perfect life. You may not come from a perfect past. But that doesn't disqualify you from the love of Jesus. In fact, it's why he came. To lift the broken. To heal the hurting. To restore the lost. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're not too late. Right now is still the right time. He is still reaching. Still hoping. Still believing that you will open your heart and say, God, I need you. And when you do, the entire weight you've been carrying will start to shift. You will begin to feel lighter, not because your problems disappear, but because you're no longer carrying them alone. You will begin to feel safe, not because life becomes perfect, but because your soul is finally being held in the hands that made it. You will begin to feel joy again, not the kind the world offers, but the kind that flows from deep within, anchored in the presence of the one who knows you and loves you completely. Let this be the night you choose something different. Let this be the moment that your story begins a new chapter, not one written in fear or failure, but one rooted in faith. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait until you feel more ready. Say yes now, exactly as you are. God doesn't want a better version of you. He wants the real you. The you reading this with quiet tears. The you who's been strong for too long. The you who's finally ready to stop running. It's because the God who formed you is near, and His love is awakening something inside you that the world tried to put to sleep. His presence is quiet but unmistakable, and His voice, though soft, carries a weight that nothing else can match. He is not far. He is right here, right now, reaching into your silence with the kind of peace that wraps around the soul like a warm blanket on a cold night. Type 222 if you're listening. You have gone through more than most people know. You've smiled through tears, laughed through pain, and pressed forward when everything in you begged to stop. And while others may see your strength, God sees the tiredness beneath it. He sees the way you carry yourself for everyone else, but collapse inward when no one is watching. He knows how you've questioned Him in the quiet moments, how you've asked, "Where are you?" and "Why does this hurt so much?" And instead of turning away, He draws even closer, with tears in His eyes, saying, "I've never left." Sometimes the pain becomes so familiar that we convince ourselves this is just how life is supposed to feel, heavy, uncertain, disconnected. But God did not breathe His Spirit into you so you would simply survive. He made you to walk with joy, not carry endless anxiety. He created you to live with purpose, not drown in confusion. And if you've forgotten what peace feels like, He wants to remind you. If you've accepted fear as normal, He wants to break its grip. And if you've been thinking that maybe, just maybe, it's too late, He wants you to know, it's not. It's not too late to return. It's not too late to begin again. It's not too late to be made whole. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't been disqualified. You haven't walked too far away. In fact, you are exactly where God knew you would be when He began calling your name again. He knew there would be heartbreak. He knew there would be mistakes. He knew life would bring things that left you broken in places you never expected. But He also knew that His love would be stronger than it all. He knew His grace would be enough. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. He is not here to remind you of how far you've fallen. He is here to show you how far He'll go to bring you back. You were never meant to carry your shame, your guilt, or your past like chains around your spirit. Jesus came to break every single one of them. And He didn't come just for the righteous or the religious, He came for the lost, the hurting, the ashamed, the wandering. He came for you. Not the version of you that tries to have it all together. The real you. The one reading this with a tired heart and a flicker of hope. Type 555 if you choose to let God in. You don't have to earn this love. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to clean yourself up first. You just have to say yes. Because God already said yes to you. He already saw every failure, every regret, every wrong turn, and still, He chose the cross. Not because you were perfect, but because His love is. That's the kind of love He's offering you now. The kind that stays. The kind that heals. The kind that doesn't back away when you're weak or when you've run too far. You may feel unworthy, but God calls you chosen. You may feel broken, but He calls you whole. You may feel forgotten, but He calls you His child, His beloved, His treasure. And the more you lean into that truth, the more everything around you will begin to change. Circumstances may take time. Healing may be a process. But peace can come in a moment. And that moment is now, if you open your heart. This world offers you temporary comforts and fleeting distractions. But only God offers you lasting peace and eternal truth. You've tasted what the world has to offer. You've tried to fill the void with what sparkles but doesn't satisfy. And you've learned that it always ends in emptiness. But Jesus offers living water, the kind that fills you completely and never runs dry. That's why He's calling now, before the noise drowns Him out again, before the pace of life convinces you to ignore your own soul. You have a choice. And that choice is sacred. God will not force Himself into your life. He will not kick down the door to your heart. But He will stand at that door, knock with love, and wait with infinite patience for you to open it. And when you do, He won't come in with condemnation, He will come in with comfort. He will bring light into your darkness, calm into your chaos, and healing into your deepest wounds. If you let Him, He will show you that nothing you've walked through has been wasted. Every scar will tell a story of grace. Every broken piece will become a part of the masterpiece He's forming from your life. He doesn't throw people away. He rebuilds them, gently and patiently. And He's more than ready to begin that work in you. All He's asking for is your yes. Not a perfect yes. Just an honest one. You don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to be confident or strong or bold. You just need to be willing. Willing to say, God, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I trust You. Willing to let go of the things that are slowly draining you. Willing to believe that there's more to life than just making it through another day. Because there is. There is peace, and beauty, and purpose waiting for you. And it all begins with Him. You may feel like you've missed your chance, like you've messed up too many times, taken too many wrong turns, or stayed in places you should have left long ago. But God's love doesn't operate within the limits of your failures. It doesn't shrink when you fall short. It doesn't grow tired of chasing you. His love is constant, steady, deeper than the oceans and wider than the sky. And it is wrapped around you right now, whether you feel worthy or not. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the names others have called you or the failures you've carried. You are not your past. You are His child, handcrafted with care, set apart with purpose, and loved beyond understanding. And He is calling you back. Not to make you feel bad, but to set you free. Free from the chains of shame. Free from the need to perform. Free from the guilt that keeps whispering you'll never be enough. He knows it's hard to trust. Especially when people have hurt you, when promises were broken, when love was conditional. But God is not like people. He does not lie. He does not leave. He does not love you less on your bad days or more on your good ones. His love is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And it's not hanging by a thread, it's holding you, even now.